What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today, we are going to be talking about the brand new Summer Big Mom that's currently available on Extra Island on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. And I guess we'll briefly talk about the pudding as well, because this free-to-play pudding, by the way, is very easy to clear. You can clear it with, like, a Kaido Team, you can clear it with a Buggy Team, you know, with, like, Colosseum Kid, Elizabello, Zoro Juro Treasure Map. There's lots of really easy ways to get through this content, and I didn't really want to make a clip regarding it because it was just so easy. But with this pudding, she's an interesting unit. Her special ability reduces resilience by 4, reduces despair by 4, and then side characters' recovery and tandem slots are going to be treated as beneficial for 2 turns. It's a pretty good special, and it actually helps against the Big Mom event. So if you are finding it a little bit tricky, you can just max this character out first, and then use this character to help you clear the Big Mom Island. But let's actually talk about Big Mom herself, because she's a very good free-to-play unit, and both Pudding and Big Mom are both going to be point boosters in the next treasure map, whenever that is, sometime in January. So this Big Mom, when you actually limit break her, she gets a buffed captain effect. So you want to limit break her, you want to get her rainbowed out, but her captain effect is going to boost side characters attack by 3.5 times. It's an unconditional 3.5 attack boost, and then all other types still get a 3 times attack boost. Side characters get a 1.3 health boost, and it reduces the special charge time by 1 at the start of the quest. This is a really good free-to-play captain effect, dude. Like, definitely just max her out just for that. And then her special ability, which goes down to a 13-turn cooldown, it will instantly defeat any enemy that has 100 times her attack or less. So if we look at this situation here, her attack is 1515, multiplied by 100 is 150,000, essentially. So any character that has less than 150,000 HP gets instantly defeated. And then on top of that, reduces paralysis, recovery down, and bind, all by 4 turns. And then if you have 3 side characters on your team, you get a 3-turn, 2.75 times chain lock. This character is freaking awesome. Like, without a doubt, you need to max this character out. She's just like a really, really good free-to-play unit. One thing to note as well is that one of her crewmate effects just outright resists 1 turn of paralysis on your team. So technically, this character reduces 5 turns of paralysis, unless if you're inflicted with the fear debuff, of course. But in most cases, yes, this is going to technically reduce 5 turns of paralysis. So very, very nice to have. Unfortunately, her support effect is just a stat boost and nothing really too crazy there. But overall, this free-to-play Big Mom is a very good unit. So I have 4 different teams for you guys in this video today taking on this event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so getting into this video, first of all, the first team you guys are seeing here is with the brand new SugoFest exclusive Super Type Boa Hancock. Now, of course, not everyone is going to be able to build this team, of course, but in this content, the bosses will change from their original color into int. So if you have a side-based team, that is going to be your best way forward. With this team here, you can see we are using, obviously, Boa, but you don't have to have Boa as your captain. You could use someone else. I mean, V3 Law could be used as the captain instead. I mean, just about any other side captain could be used. V2 Kuzan, for example, could also be a pretty solid option as well. But one thing you have to note here is that the smoothie stage here, she's got 5.5 million HP, and she will paralyze your entire team for 4 turns, and also you will be inflicted with 3 turns of remove SFX, or the blindness debuff. So having some sort of crewmate to avoid that is going to be your best way forward. It's definitely going to make a huge difference having someone that can just resist that. But obviously it's not the end of the world, but there are a couple of really cool cases where you could use, like in this example, we're using the Viola from the brand new Rare Recruit batch, who can actually resist the blindness, and there's other characters that we'll talk about in this video that kind of allows us to mitigate that remove SFX. And another thing here is that Luffy character on this team this is like one of the first times, or one of the only times I've ever used this character. I really do not use that Luffy that often. He doesn't really see much play, but on paper, he's a pretty good unit. Either way, our final boss stage against Big Mom. She's got 15 million health. She becomes an int character once again, and she has a damage reduction buff where characters that are not Psy, it will do like a significantly like less damage. It's a huge debuff. So you want to find a way to get rid of that, or just use Psy characters. 6 turns of despair is inflicted to your team, 3 turns of burn, 3 turns of chain lock, and the enemy has 4 turns of resilience. So lots of things you have to take into consideration here, but the Summer Pudding character does get around a couple of those debuffs there, so she's going to be a really, really nice character to use in this fight. Moving on to the second team is going to be none other than Kaido. This is the team that I've used to farm the character up, and now that I have my Big Mom completely maxed, this was definitely the team that I used. Now, there are a couple of key support units which you would have seen at the start of the video. Shout out to me for putting supports in this video for the first time. So we do have Mistims attached to Sanji and Judge, which allows our special to be ready a little earlier on. So that's really, really useful, but not overly required because Smoothie doesn't really do anything, like after like turn 1, turn 2 or anything. She doesn't really do anything, so if you need to stall, you can do that, or just replace Sanji and Judge with, I don't know, some other paralysis reducer, because that's the main reason why they're on the team, is they just reduce paralysis, and it's really, really nice to have. And then on the final stage, we also will be using the Stampede Luffy to give himself all the boosts. We do have the support of Shirahoshi, but you could use support Vivi, for example, just some sort of way to give him a matching orb guaranteed. And then we have Baccarat, where recruit to get rid of the chain lock that gets inflicted to us on the final stage, and we have the support of Tesoro. So not only are we removing the really bad chain lock that Big Mom gives us, but with the support of Tesoro, we inflict ourselves with a 3 times chain lock, so it does make a pretty big difference there. And then we also have Kaido as well as the captain, of course, obviously, to get rid of the resilience buff. You see we have Raid Ace on the team, and the main reason for that is because we have the attachment of Quick Whitebeard, who will have the support of removing 3 turns of despair, so that's perfect in this situation. Plus, this Ace also has a crewmate ability to resist special, not special reverse, but remove SFX, sorry, which is perfect, so that we are able to actually hit our perfects a lot easier. So all in all, this team is built in such a way where it blitzes the content so easily. Shout out to the Shattered Fortress, who was the somewhat original creator of this team. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar, so shout out to the Shattered Fortress for that one. Now we move on to my third team, which is going to be using SugoFest exclusive Sugar. This is a pretty interesting team, and I don't really know if this is going to be a team that people would opt to use, but it is just pretty interesting just seeing how Sugar's able to get around it, because, you know, remove SFX is a really annoying debuff, paralysis is also a really annoying debuff, and when Sugar becomes the toy soldier, you really don't have to worry about that at all. I mean, remember that the toy soldier can go through barriers, it can also attack, you know, even if they're inflicted with bind or paralysis or the stun debuff, it doesn't really matter. The only thing to note though is that with this team we are using like Komurasaki to get like a full board of orbs and an attack boost. We have Sugar for the orb boost, of course, and then we use the V2 Ray Dofi to carry those boosts into the following stage. But V2 Ray Dofi will have the effect where he shuffles non-matching slots, so you can get a little unlucky with orbs, I guess. That would be like the only thing that would be somewhat worrying for this team. And you see, we don't even change our whole team into toy bears. Like, it's not really a problem, but no matter what, we're going to get through it pretty easily from this point onwards. Now we do have the Smoothie on the team with the support of Cracker to get rid of the chain lock that gets inflicted to us on the stage, and then we use the actual special of Smoothie with double special activation to remove the despair on our team. So that's the main reason why she's here, is because she gets rid of the despair, plus the support gets rid of the chain lock. And then we have Reiju, of course. This treasure map Reiju is really good because she will provide a conditional boost for our team, as well as poisoning the enemy. And the Big Mom does not have any immunity buff, so by poisoning the enemy, we can actually get rid of the resilience buff just with allowing the poison to do the end of turn damage. So really, really cool team, actually. Definitely not the team I'd use to farm it with, but it's just really cool, just a proof of concept that Sugar does get through this pretty comfortably. And the final team of the video is using my boy, Mr. Slam Jam V3 Katakuri. And with this team, this is like a very calculated team in that, you know, you need to make sure that Rayleigh is completely maxed out, max limit break, make sure he's really, really low cooldown, because if it's not, then you're not going to be able to get through this content, because essentially, we're using Rayleigh on stage 4, and we're using him again on stage 5, due to that amazing crewmate effect where he reduces his cooldown by 2 turns every time another character uses a special. So that's pretty valuable to have, and this is why, you know, V1 Rayleigh is one of the best aged units in One Piece Treasure Cruise. I mean, technically you could say that he is the best age unit in history, because he probably is the oldest unit that still sees like regular play. He's very, very good. Then we also have the Nami from the anniversary, or JP anniversary should I say, but you know, from our version 10.0 celebration, where you know we reduce our crew's health. Then we use all of our specials. We have Megalo to lock orbs, so we can keep them for the following turn, of course. And then on the final stage, we're just using the super type Katakuri with his special plus Reiju to get rid of the resilience buff, or to do the poison through the resilience buff to kill. And it's a pretty comfortable team. But anyways, that is going to wrap up this video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.